In this episode, you will learn why nobody wants to buy your offer and how to change that. Welcome, my loves, to the Spiritually Ambitious Entrepreneur podcast. This is the space for my recovering overachievers who want to build a business without burning themselves out. A business that aligns with your values, that feels like you, that funds your freedom. I am your host, Coach Chels, ex-doctor turned six-figure entrepreneur and full-time traveler. I am still here in Jersey. As you know, it's not the US, it's Jersey. So we're here in the Channel Islands in the UK. And today I'm here for a strategy session teaching you how to turn your expertise into one clear offer that changes people's lives while funding your freedom, all in a way that doesn't burn you out. And specifically today, we're talking about why nobody wants to buy your offer. And I kind of cringe saying this because there is going to be a bit of a harsh truth moment in here. But I honestly wish that some of the things I'll share with you, I wish someone would have told me these things initially, because it'll save you so much time and energy and effort. And it's really not about you. The things I'm going to focus on today are more about the why no one wants to buy your offer when it comes to like what you're saying about your offer, how you're communicating it to people. Are you saying the right things to communicate about your offer? I want to start with the story of when I hired my first one-to-one business coach back in 2021. I was trying to figure this out. Why aren't people buying my offer? I had done the market research and I've been doing launches. It wasn't that nobody was buying, it's that very few people were buying very infrequently. It just felt like, why aren't things taking off more? Maybe I'd have one client sign up every 2 months. At this point, I am a career coach for healthcare professionals. And the offer I'm selling is called the Career Fulfillment Formula. At my first session with my business coach, she's looking at all my stuff. She kind of pulls up my Instagram and is looking at that. And then she pulls up all the market research. And she was looking at that and she's like, well, okay, for one, in all the market research conversations, like they are talking about they want to be happy, like they want career happiness. And in everything you're sharing on Instagram, even though your program itself is called Career Fulfillment Formula, the things you're sharing on Instagram are talking about career change. Even the subliminal things you're sharing, like quitting your job, traveling, and like leaving. So everything about your profile and the way you're communicating is talking about career change. In my head, I was like, yeah, of course, because to get to career happiness, they need to change their career. She was like, yeah, but they don't know that yet. So you're getting too far ahead and you're marketing to them 100 steps down the line. Maybe in order to have happiness in their career, they're going to need to change their career and leave their career, but they don't know that yet. And so that's why they're not signing up, because they're trying to figure that out for themselves. Do I actually need to change to be happy in my career? Let me see if there's anything else I can do to be happy in the current career. And then if I want to change, and I'm sure that I want to change, then I'll go to Chelsea. And that was such a mind-blowing moment. It just felt really obvious to me. They're saying they want to be happy. So of course they want to change their career. So that's what I'm selling them. Even though my program was called Career Fulfillment Formula, which doesn't say career change, it just is about being happy or more fulfilled. I wasn't really marketing it or messaging it. And my whole brand was not about just happiness. That changed so much. I was like, oh, if I just start focusing on enjoy your career, be happy in your career, be fulfilled, and making all my messaging points around that, that's when things started to take off. So that is what we're going to be talking about today. Why aren't people buying your offer? And really from a messaging standpoint, like why aren't people buying your offer? Because of the ways you're communicating it. I have 4 things that we're going to go into, and I know there's so many more, so maybe I'll do many parts of this. It is like a tough love vibe, and I'm going to share it in a very direct way. None of this is personal. It's okay. We're not really taught how to market our message, or we feel weird about marketing and messaging. So there's a lot of emotional pieces around this, but if you can just not feel like I'm personally attacking you and really just take this super objective and at face value, you're going to get so much out of it. You might be raising your hand for every single one of these, and that is okay. We just get to fix it from here. I know the perfectionist in you, which is in me too. I hired my business coach to help me with my messaging. And then on this call, I'm like, oh, I feel like a failure. I'm being personally attacked because I'm failing. Like, who cares? It's really not about that. It's just about, hey, people aren't buying your offer. Let's get them buying your offer. Your offer is great. Let's make sure we communicate that. The main reason people are not buying your offer is because you're not selling a result that they want. It's not clear to them that you're selling a result that they want. So that's the main big picture reason, but let's go into some of the more specific ones. Number one is you're not selling a result at all. Maybe you're selling something like, come to the retreat, buy my meditation, join my coaching program. No one wants to buy coaching. No one wants to buy a retreat. No one wants to buy a meditation. You don't want to buy the thing. You want to buy the result of the thing. Even for me, like I just bought this sweater. It's like, I'm not buying clothes. I'm buying the thing it gives me. Like it's giving me warmth because I don't have enough warm clothes here. So it's like, I'm buying warmth. I'm buying the style. I'm buying fashion. I'm not buying fabric. I'm buying the thing that it gives me, maybe a self-perception. It makes me feel better about myself. I feel cute. People don't buy the thing. They buy the results of the thing. I was reading a book about not drinking alcohol. It's related, but she is talking about the products. And I guess this is something in marketing where you don't buy the product, you buy the products. And so she was giving the example of perfume of like, we're not just buying liquid in a bottle. Okay, no. What's this product's product? The liquid in a bottle makes you smell good. We're really buying the product, which is sex appeal or attracting people with your scent. You're buying being attractive to the opposite sex, potentially, or just to other people. A lot of us are trying to sell, here's some liquid in a bottle. Do you want to buy it? And it's like, no, nobody wants that. So you think of perfume commercials or cologne commercials. What are they? There's not a lot of words. It's usually some kind of cinematic thing where the person is getting ready and she's but the thing you're buying is the sex appeal. Okay, I have never said sex so many times on this podcast. This is weird. It's fine. We're going to keep going. When I was trying to sell coaching, people are going to say, oh, I have to think about it. They don't want to buy coaching. They want to buy the solution to their problem. They want to buy the result of the thing. They want to buy the products. So when I started selling Pathway to Purpose, like I will help you find your purpose. You're going to discover your purpose. That was so much more clear than just like sign up for life coaching and we'll like help you feel better and talk about career. Like no, Pathway to Purpose, so much more clear. And in general with my clients, one of the things I have them do is in the name and tagline of your offer, it should be so clear what the result is. One of my clients heard is the serene cycle, because that's what people want. They want to feel more peaceful during their period. So the fix here, if it's not based on a result, you could actually ask, okay, what's the product I'm selling? Coaching. What's the product of that? And then what's the product of that, right? So we want to go to the products. What is the result? Like, what are they going to walk away with? How will their life be tangibly better? And then also you could think from what's the problem they're having that this solves? But then filter it through the lens of products. That was number one. Number two, it's based on 100 results and they don't understand or feel clear about like what the actual result is or which one is happening. And let me just validate this for you. Transformational processes are complex. They are not point A to point B. Like it is very hard to distill things down to one dimension of it. And it feels a little bit false to say like, well, it's just this one thing, because literally for me, one of the things that happens, I'm like, I need a disclaimer or like a red flag warning, because I have been doing work in the realm of career, like in the realm of purpose, in the realm of waking up to what you're here to do. Do you know how many of my clients have left their marriages, ended relationships, moved across the country? There's all these other things that start to happen. Some of my clients are like, now I feel like I'm a better mom or like whatever. There's so many other results that happen and it is complex, but it's just really hard for people to understand what the result is if you're throwing 100 different results at them. Even though it's technically true, even though you can help them with so many things, usually people don't want to commit to so many different things all at once. They just want to commit to like one change at a time. When it comes to what you're selling, just make it clear, make it simple. Just choose one of the results. We always will feel like, oh, we're just selling ourselves short. It's so much more than that. And like, yes, it is. But unless you can distill it into one thing, nobody will buy it anyways. And so nobody gets to experience it. Pathway to Purpose was initially this 8-week program. Take people through, you find your purpose, you do the inner work, you have these aha moments, you feel really good about yourself. When I started trying to make it bigger and expand it, I kept the name Pathway to Purpose. I started being like, let's make it 4 months. And you're also gonna land your job or start your business, or you'll resign from your thing or take some steps to change career. Like, I tried to make it super comprehensive. And then I was getting confused. Like, what actually is it? Where are they going to end up again? I don't know. I could tell I was getting questions on sales calls, and I was like, yeah, that makes sense that you're confused. I feel kind of confused too. So just distill it down to one result. What is the get the foot in the door result, right? What is the one dimension of the transformation that you're going to help them with? The one result. Keep it super simple. Okay. That was number 2. Number 3 is it's based on a vague result. Here it's like, you're almost there, right? You're like, yeah, it's on a result. I got it. I think this used to work better back in 2022. The online market changes fast. The way people are buying now, what a lot of my friends are noticing is, especially when it comes to something intangible, like coaching, education, or meditation, you're not buying like a Peloton bike. You know, you're not getting a physical thing. When it comes to things that feel a little bit more vague and personal transformation based, they are wanting it to be more specific, right? So the market is moving towards just getting more hyper specific problems solved. Feel better, step into your power, own your life. These ridiculous things. Like, people don't want to be empowered. Nobody wants to be empowered. Nobody wants to step into things. Like, what are you stepping into? Unless you're stepping into a new closet or a new house. But like, when people say step into it, I'm like, what does that mean? Nobody wants that. People want, or they're not going to resonate with it in a way that makes them want to buy it, right? Maybe they're like, yeah, cool, I want that for $10. Like, I don't actually want it. So we want to get more specific. Okay, so just examples of what would make it more specific. If we're thinking, like, I'm going to help you find your center versus I'm going to help you stop yelling at your kids because now you can control your emotions. There's probably a better, more succinct way to say that, but it's going from the vague of like, be more at peace to, okay, what happens when I'm more at peace? What do I actually care about when I'm more at peace? Maybe it's sleep through the night because you're not stressed out about everything, right? So we want to move from vague to specific. So whatever thing you came up with, even from the first exercise you did, products, you want to jump in and be like, is this specific? And the question I have created, which I think is so good, by the way, you want to say, is this result defensible in a court of law? What do I mean by that? Is it specific enough that could be used as evidence in a court of law? So examples, like if you did a specific action or behavior, she didn't yell at her kids, like that, someone could say she did or she didn't. You could have a witness. It could be happening. Could a witness come in and say, did she find her center? We don't know. Indefensible in a court of law, right? So we want to go down to, what are the results? What is a result? Like, is it defensible in a court of law? Because it's that specific. So start your business. I mean, I guess that could be defensible, but like sign your first paid client, much more defensible. Or I guess the Serene Cycle, like have less anxiety during your period, that actually is selling quite well. But if we want to make it more specific, it could be like when you're anxious or when you're actually, one of the things she does do, this will make it specific. It's like getting off birth control that you don't want to be on, hormonal birth control, because you know how to manage your cycle on your own, right? That's a defensible thing in a court of law. It's like, I'm off the birth control now. I am on it or off it. So that might feel difficult to do initially when you're just starting out. And so don't stress out if you don't have that level of specificity yet, but that's where we want to get to. Okay, I love that question. I think it's just so good, if I do say so myself. I'm hosting a program coming up in October called Certify Yourself, where I'm teaching people how to validate themselves from within. I literally just do it all the time. I'm just like constantly validating myself, and it's a vibe. The number 4 reason why people are not buying your offer is it is not based on the result they want. This was what my problem was initially. It wasn't based on the result they want. It was what I was extrapolating from what they said. Usually this happens because you have not done your market research yet, or you've done market research by doing a survey, which just does not cut it. When you're first starting out, you need to have conversations with your people. You need to have recorded the conversations, because do you know how much things change? Like your perspective of a conversation when you're in it and you're actively listening, when you go back and read through it or listen again, you hear nuances and layers that you didn't realize were in there, because as good of a listener as you are, you're still listening, trying to respond or figuring out what to ask next. We're not always as fully present. So you can't just be taking from your memory of client calls or interactions. It needs to be a recorded thing, and you need to have transcripts and you need to look at them. If people are not buying your offer, we need to do this because we need to understand what they want. What do they actually want? You're listening to them. And then what assumptions are you putting in there that are messing up the integrity of what they're saying? Are you present with what they're actually saying? Or they say one thing, they say, oh, it's about the money. And you immediately make an assumption. Okay, so they're worried about debt. And like, they didn't say that. You'll really see how much you can learn if you're doing these market research conversations. And then you go back and you read through them, you get so much more when you can really read them with a more unbiased, fresh perspective. Okay, so for the most part, let's say you're selling a result. People are not buying. Maybe it's not based on the result that they want because you haven't done your market research and you're just assuming what people want, or you don't know the language. It is what they want, but it's not the language they would use. So they're not really connecting to it. And so how do we fix this? This fix is straight up market research, right? We got to do the market research. It's so important. This is a huge one. So this is one of the things we do inside Create Your Six-Figure Offer, which is my longer term coaching program. I walk you through my entire market research process. If you want support doing this, if you want to be walked through like how to find your people, what questions to ask them, how to analyze the results, like how to do the whole process really tactically, that's something that we do in Create Your Six-Figure Offer, which we are starting like the first live round of this October 6th. So if you're listening to this in real time, it would be a great time to jump in. You'll get a nice founder's rate and we will get to go through this process together. Let's do a recap. Hopefully nobody's offended by any of this so far. Hopefully you can really see, oh, okay. Yeah, I'm not doing that. Nope, not quite doing that. That's okay. We're here to learn. So hopefully now you have some understanding of why people are not buying your offer. You have so much to offer and I want them to buy it, but we have to communicate it in a way that makes sense, in a way that gets you paid. The skill of communication, especially when it comes to selling, cannot be underrated. So the main reason they're not buying the whole thing is you're not selling a result that they want. Maybe it's not based on a result at all. Maybe it's based on 100 results and they don't know which one it is and they're getting confused, and you confuse them, you lose them. And maybe it's based on a vague result that it's like, what does that mean? I don't know. Like, that's cute, but I'm not paying thousands of dollars for that. Or maybe it's not based on the result they want. Maybe there's some kind of miscommunication in either your language. That's not the thing I want. Like career change, that's not what I want. That's like a last resort. I just want to be happy in my career. So there's so many things that line up for all of this. But if people are not buying your offer, check these 4 things, see which ones you need to fix, and let's get people buying your genius and the thing you have to sell so that you can start changing lives and making a difference in a way that does not burn you out. Okay, my loves, that is all for today. Let me know which of these 4 things really resonated with you. Which one are you struggling with? Thanks for tuning in to the Spiritually Ambitious Entrepreneur Podcast, the place where we do big things and live our life to the fullest. See you next time.